So I have to say, congrats on Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. How are you both feeling about fans finally getting to find out what's going down in Millwood?
It's surreal, overwhelming. This has been our baby for 9 months in upstate New York, so it's mental.
It's pretty crazy. Yes, we've been working on this privately, quietly. It feels like in the middle of nowhere, like off the map. And so to be back into the real world and see the trailer dropping and the promo starting and people seeing our faces when they're driving down the street, like it's wild. And I'm still pinching myself trying to figure out if I am actually like living this life or if it's just all a figment of my imagination. So yes.
And I have to say, the trailer, it had me quaking. I'm officially scared. I have to say, the ultimate villain in the series is obviously A. What is A like in the series without giving away any spoilers?
A is, I like to say, is very ruthless and cutthroat, unapologetic, and brutal. I mean, it's something out of your nightmares, I would say. Yeah, our A is wicked.
Are there going to be any plot twists, or like what are we going to see here?
No plot twist. Everything is you know, as to be expected. I think it's just a straightforward story.
No, lots of plot twists.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. Now, so Bailee, can you talk a bit about your character Imogen and what drew you to this role specifically?
Of course. I love my girl Imogen. I feel like she's very real, so I protect her. I care about her. But, you know, I've been able to kind of grow up in this business throughout the years, and thankfully I've been able to grow with my characters. And, you know, I'm 22 years old right now. And so I think I was really looking for a script that would showcase a young woman that wasn't so one-dimensional, that was multi-layered and complex, and allowed myself to truly tell an honest story. And that's not often handed. And so I was just ecstatic to get to work with Roberto and Lindsay and HBO Max and the whole team to create this story and this character. I think she's the most involved I've ever gotten with the character. It's really hard to shake her, and definitely, you know, feels deeply rooted in myself now.
And then Chandler, can you also talk a bit about your character and what drew you to this role?
Yes, Tabby is a huge film lover and horror movie buff, and she has a film reference for literally everything. But it's really cool because it's the way that she sees the world. It is her own unique perspective, and it's also a bit of a coping mechanism for her, and she really leans into that in processing a lot of the things that she is experiencing. And what really drew me to Tabby is her truth and her honesty. She feels really grounded. And when I read the script, I was immediately drawn to that. I was drawn to the fact that she doesn't put all her cards on the table. She holds back a little bit. And I would say she's a bit like an onion, you know, she has layers and you gotta pull them back, peel them back very slowly. And certainly her friends, and especially Imogen, helps to peel back those layers throughout the course of the season. So it's a pretty beautiful arc for her, I would say.
Gotta love the Shrek reference.
I was gonna say she's like an ogre. I'm glad you got that. I'm so glad you got that.
And then last question, can you both describe the series in 3 words each?
Ooh. Epic.
Addicting.
I love when you say ruthless. It really is.
Yeah. Ruthless. I just like saying the word.
It's wild. I
said invasive too. I still like the word invasive because the show is very you feel immersed into our world, and it feels like there's no privacy in Millwood and there's no privacy with you when you watch it, which I think is fun.
Invasive, emphasis on the A.
Yes,
invasive.
Getting into this, congrats on Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. How are you both feeling about fans finally getting to see what goes down in Millwood?
Oh my gosh. I mean, there's a bubble of so many emotions. I know we've all put so much blood, sweat, and tears into this process for the last year. And so, you know, of course, there's going to be nerves releasing it into the wild, but, you know, I think our hearts will shine through, and the work that we did will shine through. And I think the fans will be loving it. And so far, the reception's been great. So I'm excited.
And we know that the ultimate villain in the series obviously is A. What can you tease a bit about what A is like in this series without giving anything away?
I think, well, for starters, it's a slasher. So I think from the get-go, there's something really cool about being able to see A in comparison to the original show, about how A was more so of this unknown being that you didn't really know who, what, or anything or where they came from. But there's something really cool about being able to see A physically on our show that will lead to a lot of clues and a lot of theories that I'm really excited to get to read. But also I feel like it marries both internal and external horror in a really interesting way. And we've gotten to get to play with that, but RA does a really good job at terrifying us both internally and externally.
Absolutely.
And then Malia, can you talk a bit about what drew you to Minnie and tease a bit about her for viewers?
Oh my gosh. I mean, as soon as I heard about her, it just felt like so kismet and so perfect. I mean, first of all, just having a character that's Asian American and queer, you don't get that all the time. And the fact that there was someone that would represent me, whether it would be me or not, was amazing. And also, I think as an actor, you always hope for a character like Minnie, someone that looks one way on the surface, but might be a little different. Or, I mean, she's just so nuanced in the way that she approaches different situations. So as my first lead in a show, it was really wonderful going through this journey with her and being delicate with her and being strong and finding all those intricacies that made her her.
And same question for you, Maia. Can you talk a bit about Noah and what drew you to this role?
100%. Noah is such a special character to me in my heart, and in the way that I've gotten to know her with every single episode that was coming and every single script, I got to know her more and more, and I felt more in love with her as time went by. I think she's strong, she's loyal, she's straightforward, she's honest, and there's so many qualities that make her so unique. And we meet her at a point where she's comfortable hiding behind this facade and getting to kind of come out of her shell when everybody thinks she already is, but she truly isn't. And getting to kind of navigate that was really, really challenging in a way, and whilst keeping her grounded and real. And I think I attest that to all of our creative team that was great in writing such awesome characters. And everybody, like all 5 liars, Karen, Kelly, everyone is so great. It's been so incredible to get to work with them too.
I love it. And can each of you describe the series in 3 words? I know it can be tough sometimes.
Yeah, I would say slasher. I would say intriguing and raw. Not raw. I don't know. Malia, you go.
Okay, mother.
Great.
Manipulation to keep in the M's.
Great. That's awesome.
Poetry.
I love it. Now, I also have to ask, so PLL, obviously a huge franchise, tons of fans across the world. How has PLL Original Sin set itself apart and tell the story of the liars in a new way?
I think exploring horror was so smart. I think we've gotten to know the Pretty Little Liars universe in one way, and that's touched so many hearts, but it's been really fun to kind of take a fresh take on it and see, at the end of the day, we're dealing with the same A plot line where there's this anonymous figure that's terrorizing them. And it's just interesting, even looking at the human condition, like under different circumstances, how would these people react? And what would they do and what choices would they have to make? And so, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a look at these girls and the circumstances that they have to go through and them finding their strength while doing it.
So first of all, congrats on Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. How are you both feeling about fans finally getting to see what goes down in Millwood?
Like that.
Like that.
So excited. Exciting, like, I don't know, surreal, unreal. I mean, I could go on and on.
Now, we all know that the ultimate villain in the Pretty Little Liars world is obviously A. What is A like in this new series without giving away any spoilers?
I'm like, he's much more of a physical presence, for
That's
one.
good.
Yeah, I think he's a physical presence. I think that he, or I won't even say he, I'll say they, they have such and I don't know how to explain it. Like they're just
imminent danger.
Imminent danger
is
it.
A very big possibility in our show.
Yeah.
As far as A is concerned. A is here. He's lurking.
A should stand for always watching, because that is what A is doing. A is always around the corner.
Yep. A always has an eye on what's going on.
Yes.
Now, Zaria, can you talk a bit about your character for viewers that haven't seen the series yet, and what drew you to this role?
Yes, I play Farron. She's a ballerina. Which I now can say she has scoliosis, so she's also dealing with this chronic pain that isn't really seen by everyone, and she tends to hide it, which is one of her secrets, but I can say it now because it was in the video. It's in the character video. And yeah, so she's really ambitious. She knows what she wants. She goes after it, and she's not afraid to take up space, and she's also not afraid to say what's on her mind. And so she has a lot of maturity for someone in high school, and I was really excited to play someone that was that young but knew so much about herself, and she also goes on a journey of figuring out what she wants in this life and who she wants to be.
And then Mallory, I wanted to ask you the same question. What drew you to Karen?
Yes, I mean, I think Karen is such a brilliantly written mean girl. I've auditioned for many mean girls in my time, and she is just so complicated and flawed and just not like the bottlehead blonde that, you know, is just kind of mean. Like, it comes from this place of really deep insecurity. And so getting to see, when I got the audition, like just getting to see what her home life was like, and the way she talks to her boyfriend, like I just thought I think she's such a beautifully written character. Like, she's just so flawed, and so all the flaws is what really attracted to me. I was like, wow, what a fun role to play. And then just the fact that getting to play twins also was a huge, I can't even believe that I get to do that. It's been the most fun challenge to try and to have these two characters and for them to be distinct from each other. And I feel so grateful that I got to play this parts.
I love to see it. And can both of you describe the series in 3 words?
Oh.
Ooh. Horrific.
Intoxicating.
Ooh. Heartfelt.
Inspiring.
Chaotic.
Romantic.
I love it. I think that's everything. I feel like it's got everything that we want to see. It ticks all the boxes.
Yeah,
it ticks a lot.
Now, last question. Obviously, the Pretty Little Liars universe, a big franchise, lots of fans. What sets apart Pretty Little Liars' original sin to tell this story in a totally new way?
I think we have so many different perspectives. It's what Mallory was saying. It's just like so specific characters that are nuanced and have layers. So it makes it easier for people to relate to them. And also we have, you know, a Black ballerina, and we have Tabby, who's really interested in filmmaking, and we have Imogen, who's dealing with teen pregnancy, because I can say that now. So yeah, it's just, I think we do a lot of really, well, I can't take credit for that. I'll have to give the credit and tip my hat to the writers and showrunners for really creating a really inclusive world.
Yeah, while still maintaining like the heart that the original has, with the female friendships at the center of it.
Exactly.
Just to throw a similarity in there, why not?